kids? Okay, we are talking about author's tone and purpose. I wonder if you can hear me. Author's tone and purpose today. So, every time that an author writes, they have a specific tone they use, and they have a specific purpose. Purpose. Come here. I'm trying to get the cats for you. They're busy. Okay, so, again, hopefully all of this is just a lot of review, and you're like, I know this, I'm fantastic. I don't need any of this. Oh, they're attacking each other. Okay, so what is tone? I hope you can see it. You see them? Look at them attacking one another. Oh my gosh. I'm so glad I caught that for you. All right. Now that we've had our fun. What is tone? So, the author's tone is the attitude or feeling that an author has, sorry for the intense typing, that an author has about the subject, okay? So it's not the mood. So we've talked about mood, and mood is what the author creates. So if you're reading something and like it has a specific atmosphere, it feels gloomy, it feels happy, that's the mood. The tone is how the author actually feels about what they are writing. Okay? Liam, where are you? Come on. Okay? So, the author has different tones that they use. So we have positive, negative, and neutral. These should be fairly self-explanatory, but a positive tone conveys or shows good feelings about the topic. Hey. Good feelings about the topic. So it's like happiness or delight, enthusiasm, all that stuff. It's like, oh yes, this is amazing. A negative tone, as we could say, conveys bad feelings about the topic. And then our neutral tone is neither positive nor negative. So it's like if I was like, today's lunch is there. We are eating food today. Right? It's not like, oh my gosh, this is terrible and I hate it. But it's also not like, oh my god, it's amazing. It's just very neutral. It's like if you went to see a movie and you're like, nah, it's alright. It's fine. Okay? So, I went and I found 2 different reviews for the movie Ghost in the Shell. I asked Ashanti what her most recent movie that she saw in theaters was. She told me it was this one. So I went and I found 2 reviews. We're going to figure out the tone of each. So make sure you're following along while I read them. What a wasted opportunity and horrible film. This had the potential to be a great movie. It ended up being a mix between a bad B-movie, an awfully designed theme park ride, and the CGI and editing in the hands of a first-year middle school student in an art class who just wants to try every color and every effect to see what happens. Oh my gosh, they're attacking each other again. Hitchcock said anyone can direct a film, but it takes an editor to edit a film. This film could have used a director. So it should be fairly self-explanatory that the tone of this is negative. It's extremely negative. How do we know? Because it uses words like horrible, awful. It compares it to, and finally, like the baseline thing is that it says this film could have used a director. Okay, so you want to just quote a couple of things. Okay? It's bad. We know that this author has a very negative feeling or attitude about this subject. Now let's move on to number 2. Oh, no. All right. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry. Number 2. It's a brilliant film. Definitely the most visually stunning movie I've seen in a very long time, with every minute detail seeming expertly crafted. In regards to the casting, I think it's wrong to say that they sold out by hiring Scarlett Johansson to play Major. She is a phenomenal actress, and thus was purely just the best choice for the role. I'm a big fan of the original anime version, but thought this was an exquisite remake that only does justice to its predecessor. Very clearly, the tone of this review is positive. And how do we know? We see words like brilliant, visually stunning, right? To be visually stunning is like beautiful effects, fantastic, incredible looking. Let's see, what else do we have? Oh, experts. Seeing it expertly crafted. All right, so we see all of these different phrases that show us like, oh my gosh, this person is incredibly enthusiastic. They're super excited about this movie. All right, so this is tone. The words that the author uses convey or show us the tone or their attitude about the specific subject. All right, we're going to slide on down. I think on your paper it is the back side. We are going to author's purpose. So what is author's purpose? It is the reason an author is writing. Okay? Sometimes people do write just to write, but even that has like a purpose. If I write in a journal, the purpose is to express myself. However, the expression part is not one of our three main ones. So most of the time, writers will write for three specific reasons. And the easy way to remember that, as I hope you guys have learned in the past, is pie. So every time we talk about purpose, think about pie. Cherry pie, apple pie, peach pie, whatever pie you like. Think about pie. The P stands for persuade. The I stands for inform, and the E stands for entertain. So if you're persuading, you're trying to get somebody to agree with you or to think a certain way. If you are informing, you're basically just laying out the facts. And if you're entertaining, the whole purpose of it is to be like, oh, here, look at this. It's fantastic. I'm going to take up your time. Like TV shows are entertaining, okay? So, number 1, an argumentative speech about gun control. Our keyword there is argumentative. So as we learned when we were doing the deconstructing a prompt task, argument and persuasion are very much the same. So an argumentative speech about gun control, it's meant to persuade you of whatever the author's purpose, whatever the author's feeling on that topic is. Okay? The Walking Dead comic books. I hope you can hear that. They're not trying to persuade me of anything. And they're not trying to inform me. I mean, none of this is entirely real. So, they are meant purely to entertain me. And then finally, a recipe for carrot cake. I don't know any recipe that is like persuading or arguing with me. Nor do I find reading a bunch of recipes to be just endlessly entertaining and fascinating. So clearly, the purpose of this is to inform us. Okay? So again, author's tone, their feeling or attitude about the topic. And when we think about author's purpose, we want to think about pie. Persuade, inform, entertain. Okay? Now, go ahead to task number 4. And then you are reading chapters 7 and 8 in Code Talker. Make sure you are keeping up. Those questions up to chapter 10 are going to be due on Tuesday. So we need to be making sure that you are with it so you don't suddenly have like a million questions to do. Okay? Stay on top of it. Do what you got to do.